So I think it's time to finally visit this topic because I've been getting a lot of people, especially lately, asking me questions about it. And that question, of course, is, why do I use Linux? And right now that question is asked in more of a confrontational way, like, why do you even use Linux? Now, it shouldn't be any secret that there are some things that I just don't like about Linux. Now, the strange thing to me is that that seems to befuddle people. Like, if I'm criticizing Linux, how could I possibly use it and enjoy it? Well, first off, let me say that if you enjoy something, that doesn't mean that you can't criticize it, right? Like, nothing is perfect, and Linux is certainly not perfect. And even if you really, really love Linux and love everything about it, there has to be something you don't like about it. Now, I've watched videos from other folks on why they use Linux and why they like Linux, and this one is going to be a little bit different. It may seem a little meta, but I'm actually trying to avoid diving into the weeds and going into an in-depth philosophical explanation as to why I use Linux or why I feel Linux is the best choice for me. So let's get this out of the way early in the video. I don't hate Microsoft, and I don't hate Windows. I don't take major issue with the security and spying concerns that most people seem to have with Windows. I actually don't really care. On my grand list of reasons as to why I use Linux, the security and privacy concerns are actually pretty low on that list. It seems like for a lot of people, their reasoning for using Linux is they don't like how Windows spies on them, or they just don't like Microsoft as a company. But that's not a reason, that's almost like an anti-reason. In my opinion, if you're using Linux because you hate something else, like if you're using Linux because you hate Microsoft or you hate Windows, then something is wrong. I use Linux because I like Linux. I enjoy using Linux. It has nothing to do with how I feel about another product. That's just weird. So now I'm going to give you an analogy. I really like working on cars. I was working and tinkering on cars long before I got into Linux and was tinkering around with my desktop and things. But it's something I've always liked doing. I've always had older cars and quite honestly cars with a lot of problems, and they generally need a fair amount of maintenance to keep running on the road. Now, for a lot of people, that's just a big pain in the ass. Most people don't want to have to work on the car or be driving and worried about something breaking on it. I actually kind of like that. I like getting my hands dirty and knowing that my car is running good because I worked on it. I was just under the hood and I made sure everything was working good. My daily driver is a 2003 Volkswagen Passat. And let me tell you guys, this car has some just bizarre design choices. Some of them are just stupid and downright bad. But I love my car. I love working on that car. This is a picture of my car at work in a parking garage right after I got off work. That liquid coming out from under the car? Yeah, that's coolant. Luckily, I brought with me a jug of water and I was able to make it home. Now, Windows is more like a car that you lease. The company that you're leasing the car from, they don't generally want you to change the oil. They don't want you to do any maintenance to it at all. In fact, they would prefer if you took the car to them so that they could do the maintenance and things like that. It's kind of like those stupid Windows updates or upgrades or whatever, where they pop up when you're in the middle of something and say, hey, we're going to restart your computer in an hour. I want to be in control of my operating system. I choose when to update. I choose what updates. I choose everything. Like that's how I want my system to be. And Linux allows for that, and it encourages it. And not only that, if you ever get tired of your distro or your desktop environment, just switch to another one. Or shit, roll your own. Find a super cool lightweight window manager and just start slapping applications on top of it, and bam, you have your own desktop. Lots of people do that. Personally, I am more than willing to put up with low and shitty frame rates if that means that I can tinker and customize my operating system and desktop to the way I want it. Like, playing games with buttery smooth frame rates and everything is cool, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be looking at my desktop, and I mean, honestly, I think that we probably spend more time looking at applications on our desktop than playing games, so I want my desktop to look and feel the way I want it to be, not how somebody else wants it to be. So yeah, that's my spiel on why I use Linux and why Linux is the best platform for me. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, you should leave a like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. I appreciate all your support, and thanks for watching.